Hi everyone, this is Curtis with Diet Whatnots. This is the second part of my tutorial on how to gain size. Now we're going to be talking a little bit about eating, and we're going to actually go over why it's important to eat hearty when you're trying to add size. A lot of people think that just eating lean is, the best way to try to gain size, when on the contrary, especially if you're an ectomorph, naturally like I am, you need to make sure those calories are high. You need to make sure you're eating hearty foods to try to fuel the muscle, build the size that you need. What we have here is chicken breast. What I'm going to do is put some pasta shells, got a little bread from my spaghetti sort of pasta shell sauce mix, and we're going to go over and talk about that, and I'm actually going to run through some things on how you cook it, some little tricks here and there. Let's get started. Okay, so we're over here in the kitchen. We got a little over a pound of chicken breast, and what I like to do is just get it going. As you can see, I use the canola spray instead of just having the grease. I got all my non-sodium based seasons. You can use sodium, that's not a big deal. And usually what I like to do with my chicken breast is I like to cook it whole just a little, brown it just a little, and then I can start to cut it in the pan. If you have one of the non-stick pans with a bottom that comes off, that might start to rip your pan up. But if you got a metal pan or a steel pan, like what I have, you can do that. So that's one of the benefits. So once it starts to cook a little, I can start to cut it chunks so that it makes for a little easier cutting, instead of just cutting it before I stick it in the pan. That's usually what I like to do. As you see, now this, you could have more chicken than this, a couple pounds if you like, if you want to have extra, or you're feeding your family. Another thing we want to get started is our noodles. So it's a pretty easy cook. What you want to make sure is that you keep turning your chicken. Otherwise, and you can even spray me once in a while, but watch out because this stuff's flammable. So I'll usually spray it just to keep it a little moist. And I don't season anything. I don't season it yet. Turn the fire down just a little bit. I don't season it until it's all the way done. But in this case, I don't season the meat whenever I'm making a pasta or sort of a spaghetti type of meal. I usually season the sauce. So that's what I'm going to throw in right now. So, we got the sauce going. We got the noodles going. Got the meat going. I use a little white wine vinegar. That's good just to give it a little. You can use it sporadically in between. Turn the sauce down. You got to stay, keep attentive to your meat so that it doesn't stick to the pan. Start to burn. Chicken breast, you just have to sort of stay watching it. And if you cook it like this, what I'm going to do with my chicken is I'm going to end up cutting it all the way down into small pieces so that I have it more like it'll be more like just little cuts of chicken breast that I can add to the pasta and the sauce. And then I also have some veggies. Just going to use green onion and cilantro I like to use. of course, all the rest of my seasonings. Make sure this guy is down in the sauce. Like I said, you know, I cut it up in little chunks. That way, when I throw it into the pasta, yeah, you have a nice, even amount of chicken in every forkful. And again, I'll add some of the white wine vinegar. Keep it nice and moist. I'll spray. So I'm going to add some cilantro, like I said, to my sauce onto the pan. That way I don't burn it down. I like to keep it whole. And I even, not only did I have my green onions, but I have some red onions as well. So I just pack it. Get it all there. And at this time, this is when I start adding all my sauces. You can kind of see. Onion powder. I use my multi-season. I use non-sodium based ones, but it's okay. I mean, if you want to use sodium type of based seasons. I also add a little white wine vinegar to my sauce. Okay, so once we got all that going, I'll even add a little ketchup to my sauce. Sort of make my own mix. This is another thing my bread. But it's a good way to get the protein in, get the extra calories in. And yeah, you have a little sauce. But so what? You need that. So here we go, folks. We have the pasta, the chicken breast, the sauce. These are all the extra calories that you'll need. Eating hearty like this is the best way to put that extra size on, so you can, of course, gain that extra strength. We got the bread here. You can use a non-butter substitute like I do, or you can use real butter. You really don't want to worry too much about all the different types of healthy foods that are going to keep you growing lean when you're trying to bulk up. That's why you call it bulking up. Other than that, you know, make sure that you're eating the high proteins and heavy foods so that you can grow. You're eating often just like you would if you were dieting. You want to keep that metabolism going. So you want to make sure that that is part of your daily intake of calories as well. Keeping that protein high. Okay, so make sure to subscribe to the YouTube video. Stay tuned for the third part of the three-part tutorial of my series for how to gain size. This is Curtis with Diet Whatnots. Train hard, eat well. We'll see you next time.